Today we are going to be taking a look at this Haunted Mansion junk journal that I made. I had so much fun creating it. Welcome to the Haunted Mansion. Little charms hanging out. It was exciting because then there would just be spine with that same really beautiful rose gold. Actually really does just go right in line with how the ride goes. I am hosting this little junk journal along with my friend Lydia at Vintage Nectarines. We do so many crafts together and we both really love junk journaling, and last year we actually sent each other a junk journal advent and it was absolutely just so much fun. We made the most epic December daily journals ever. It was so much fun. And this year we just really wanted to jump back into that junk journal world and do it in a really fun way where we got to be creative and also not tie ourselves down to making so many junk journal videos, but just be able to have fun with it and document our life. So we came up with a really fun journal prompt list all for fall, and we are going to be completing these prompts mainly over on Instagram, but also tied into our videos here on YouTube. So I'm going to be showing you the journal that I made, as well as talking to you guys about the prompts, because there are just so many ideas and endless opportunities to be creative throughout this. Let's just jump right into it. Welcome to the Haunted Mansion. I'm so excited to give you guys a little flip through of the junk journal that I made. I absolutely love it, and I'm so proud of so many details that are inside of here. Let's start right here on the spine where we have a bunch of these little charms hanging out. We have a little castle, which I like to think of as the Haunted Mansion. There's a little pumpkin and just some blue and green gems that remind me of the ghosts inside of the house. And then the spine is made up of this really beautiful sparkly ribbon, as well as this blue velvet, which I adore. Then right here on the cover, we have some little details on the corners where there's these little gold corner covers, which remind me of a vintage book that you might find on the library at the Haunted Mansion. And then we have this brass button, which I kind of like to imagine just someone lost their button somewhere inside of the mansion. That cover is just the back of the little golden book that I took apart for making this book. And then right here we have all of these beautiful silks and ribbons that tie together to close the book. It's just so beautiful being able to touch these beautiful pieces of silk and know that they're holding some really special contents inside. You can use the hashtag on Instagram, Fall Junk Journal Along, and junk journal with us all throughout the fall season. So throughout the fall season, I'm going to be making different reels trying to accomplish the different prompts on our junk journal list. And hopefully I'll be able to complete all of them by the end of the season. Okay, so here are the prompts. Pumpkin patch, which I mean, literally you could use anything with a pumpkin, or maybe show pictures of you guys going to the pumpkin patch, and the possibilities for that one are endless. Caramel. So when I think of the caramel prompt, I think about the color caramel. I think there probably is going to be a page or an element to what I do that has that rich caramel fall color. Right here on the first page, I am going to have one of my kids, probably my youngest, the Crawley family, right here, just to remember what her little handwriting looks like right now. Right here we have a blank slate to decorate and put all kinds of memories in. And so the book begins. This is the cover page, Disney's The Haunted Mansion, and we are able to actually read this little golden book in its entirety throughout the book while we make our memories. Trick or treat. I love it when I get to take my kids trick-or-treating. They get so excited. I love seeing them knock on the doors and dress up in their costumes, and you know, they didn't get to do it last year because COVID, and we actually had COVID during Halloween, so they were very bummed. So I'm really looking forward to this year's trick-or-treat, and I cannot wait to make that junk journal page. And oh, I just know they're gonna look so cute in their costumes. On the first page here, I absolutely love it because you can actually see a little hidden Mickey right here, and it says the Haunted Mansion. We have the guy who is dressed kind of as Goofy, the girl who is dressed as Daisy, and then another girl who is dressed as Minnie or Mickey. The little girl is really scared to go into the Haunted Mansion, and her friends dare her to do it. And then she goes into the stretching room. So on this page, I will probably put maybe one of my kids in a costume or create this page for trick or treat. I'm not really sure. Okay, so the next prompt is art journal. I'm really excited about this one. There is an Instagrammer and her name is Willa Journals. I love her junk journals. She makes them, they're kind of like art journals. She paints them and collages them, and then she actually writes in them and uses them as her daily planner, and then she also makes them for sale. I think she also has like a workshop that you can take to learn how to make journals the way that she makes them. So yeah, the art journal addition to the junk journal is gonna be so fun. It's probably the prompt that I'm most looking forward to. The next one is costumes. So I think this one is really fun because you could kind of dress up in a costume even if it wasn't Halloween, or maybe you don't dress up in costumes but your kids have some really cute Halloween PJs, or maybe you have some cute Halloween PJs. Welcome, foolish mortal, to the Haunted Mansion. I am your host, your ghost host. I love it. So right here on the center folds, I do like to put little beads on my center fold strings. I think it just adds a really beautiful touch. It's really whimsical and just kind of personalizes my book even more. I thought that this paper was really beautiful for the journal because it kind of mimics the colors inside of the Haunted Mansion, and the way that it has like a watercolor effect to it, I feel like it kind of looks like a ghost. So this book is absolutely adorable. It takes our main character here through the Haunted Mansion ride, and we've got her little bellhop here getting her into her little buggy. Movie night. So this one is gonna be really fun for me personally, as well as several other people in our little Disney community, because we are actually having a Halloween movie night coming up very soon. We had a swap, and so we are gonna be doing our junk journal page on the movie night box that we're getting for Halloween. But if you are not participating in a Halloween movie night swap, which I'm assuming most of you are not, you could just watch a really fun movie and take pictures, or you could just journal in like a blank page in your journal about what movie you watched and how it made you guys feel and what you ate for dinner and what snacks you had, and you can just kind of document the occasion so that you can remember it. So I like to put a lot of different size pages in when I'm junk journaling because I like to have it look very layered. If everything was the same size, it would not be as exciting. Being able to make it look scrappy is half the fun. This is my favorite part of the Haunted Mansion ride, so I had to keep this page of the book completely intact. I love that you can really just feel like you're on the ride as you flip through this junk journal, and you can just imagine sitting there in your little Haunted Mansion buggy looking over the balcony and seeing the very magical ghosts come alive. Decorations. So this one is really fun, and I think that one way that you could do this is actually like decorate your junk journal page as if it were decorations. Like you could put a little garland on there, or little twinkle lights from the Dollar Tree, or you could just take some pictures of the fall decorations that you have in your house and make a junk journal page on it. Candy wrapper. This one's really fun because, I mean, yeah, you're gonna have some candy wrappers around at Halloween, so it'll be really fun to just kind of keep one that you really like how it looks and apply it to your junk journal page. And that is the end of the first signature. This junk journal is made up of 2. And you can see I did line my spine with that same really beautiful rose gold sparkle to just make it look even more whimsical. And then the story goes right on along with the Hatbox Ghost. Here they are out in the graveyard. So you can see that it actually really does just go right in line with how the ride goes in the park. And here we have our next centerfold, And we have more beads, and I went with a little bit of different colors on these. And I love this paper because it is actually textured, and I just love adding all kinds of textures into the book. Leaves. I love fall leaves. I've never really tried to preserve them, so I may try to do that this year. But if I don't get around to it again, then I will probably take some really fun pictures of my kids jumping in the leaves and make a junk journal page about it. Fall quote. So my favorite fall quote is the one about October gave a party, leaves by hundreds came. I love that poem so much. It is like inspiring on so many levels. It makes me want to be a better writer. It makes me feel whimsical. It makes me feel cozy. I absolutely love it. And I definitely am going to be dedicating an entire spread in my junk journal to that quote. What is your favorite fall quote? Please tell me down in the comments, because fall quotes are just amazing. You know, I guess that's kind of more of a poem than a quote, but I'm still counting it. The moon. That is the next prompt. So the moon is special to me because of the book series I wrote called On Luna Time. So whenever Halloween rolls around and there's always things about the full moon and the crescent moon and everything, it really makes me think about my characters and the world that I built inside of my series. And if you guys are interested, you can see my books in the link down below and check them out. But I can't wait for that one because I just feel like the moon just, I mean, it ties right into Halloween and fall so perfectly. And I think that one is going to be just like a really pretty page because I think anything with the moon on it is just so pretty. And then here we have the Hitchhiking Ghosts. It was important to me to leave some of the pages completely as you would see them in the book, just because it makes the whole element of reading your junk journal just all the more special. And then here is the last page. The little girl in the story is running out. She's so scared as Madame Leota says, "Hurry back." Fabric. So this one is kind of like, I've already included fabric by putting the ribbon on my journal and on the tie, but I love sewing in fabric to my junk journal. A lot of the times when I do junk journal, I do get my sewing machine out and I'll stitch on different pieces of fabric or ribbon, or even just stitch on other pieces of paper to the pieces of paper I already have in my journal. I think that adding those layers of texture is just so fun, and it makes your journal so much more personalized. If you don't have a sewing machine or you don't know how to sew, you can also just glue in some fabric, and I just think it's a really fun challenge. You could also use the fabric prompt with the art journal prompt and kind of knock out 2 in 1. That could be really fun. That's another thing. You can totally double up on these prompts and do more than one if you want at a time. And I guess the whole goal is to just see if you can challenge yourself to complete them all by the end of the season. So however you go about that, you know, you do whatever works for you, however the flow goes. Okay, the very last prompt is vintage. I love vintage anything, but vintage Halloween is so cute. The way that the old, almost like the greeting cards that you would see that were old and vintage, they just looked so cool. And so I really like to maybe print something out. There's so many different Etsy shops that feature so many different vintage Halloween images. So I may order something from a shop and dedicate several elements into my book of vintage Disney. I may make like a bunch of ephemera for that one actually, and not really include like a specific page. So kind of like the fabric and the candy wrapper and the vintage, for me, those are probably more along the lines of ephemera pieces that I'm gonna make for my journal. And then we have our ending page, and you can see the little hitchhiking ghosts right here, the mansion in the background, and all the special park features. If you guys want to see a lot more of my junk journaling, you can go down in the link below. Last year I did a ton of junk journaling in the fall and winter, and I'm just repeating that this year, which I'm so happy about because I loved it. I had so much fun, and I actually did do that on my old channel, which was just Amber Crawley, but now I'm over here and this is just our family's channel, so we're just gonna tie in our junk journal to our family life. But I will be showing little peeks of me participating in this over here throughout my vlogs. But if you want to see the kind of like process videos, and if you want to see like the finished pages and things like that, then definitely follow me over on Instagram at _AmberCrawley, and that is where I'm going to be posting all of my reels and trying to complete my prompts. Now, you can actually do a screenshot of this prompt list and try to complete it yourself. As I go through it, I'm actually going to be crossing it out on Instagram through each reel that I post. So I'm going to challenge you to do the same thing. You can use the hashtag fall junk journal along. And if you just hashtag that on your reel or on your post or your story, then I'll see it and I'll get to comment and kind of participate along with you. So that was my junk journal. I hope you guys loved it. I hope you loved getting a look at it and hearing all my ideas about what I'm gonna do to create mine and personalize it. And let me know if you guys would love to see a tutorial on how I actually made this using a little golden book, because I would love to make that for you guys. So let me know down in the comments if you are going to participate in this journal prompt, because I would just love to know who is thinking about joining in. All you really need to do is create a journal. There's a lot of links down below to the ones that I have made in the past if you want to check those out. And then you just kind of get to be creative and don't feel like you have to spend a lot of money, because you really don't. You can use so many recycled things, and honestly, you can go to the Dollar Tree or sometimes the Target dollar section and you can get just endless amounts of supplies to create a junk journal of your very own. So thanks so much for hanging out with us today, guys, and we'll talk to y'all real soon. Bye.